hang suspended in space, gliding gracefully through the skies until dropping gently to the earth. That's one way to fly hot air balloons. Now, here's another. Pilots from all over the world have gathered to fly in the skies over Battle Creek. And they're not here for the view. They're competing for $60,000 in prize money and the prestige of beating the best pilots anywhere. Colors in the Sky, a look at the World Balloon Invitational and Air Show in Battle Creek, is brought to you by Skipper's Discount Outlet, East M60 in Union City. By Maple Hill Chrysler Plymouth Volvo Hyundai, the new dealer with the new attitude. By Larry's Floor Covering and Paint Spot in Marshall, your complete decorating center. By Kitchen and Bath Unlimited, where you get top quality for less. By Culligan of Battle Creek and Kalamazoo, trust the water experts. And by United States Lumber Company of Battle Creek, where the professional contractor shops.
Welcome to the World Balloon Invitational and Air Show of Battle Creek. I'm Bob Holland.
And I'm Denise Dunbar. More than 135 pilots from all over the country, all over the world, are here participating with us in Battle Creek.
The pilots fall into two categories. There are the Fiesta flyers and the hardcore competitors.
Most people think balloonists are at the mercy of the wind.
Actually, hot air balloons are highly maneuverable aircraft if you know what you're doing. Twice a day, weather permitting, pilots and ground crews will launch, fly to targets, and drop their markers, all hoping to score the most points and win the most cash during this year's World Balloon Invitational. But it's not easy.
Oh, I think that people probably don't understand the level of skill that they're really witnessing. I mean, they see the marker fall within a few inches or a few centimeters of the target, and they think it's really a great drop. But if they had the complex flight planning and the skills exhibited by that pilot over the past 4 or 5 miles, getting to that small X without an engine, without propellers, just by using the winds and changing his altitude and concentrating on his map, it's pretty remarkable.
Since winds blow in different directions at different heights, moving your balloon up or down will turn you left or right. Traveling up or down means adding more hot air or pulling on a rope, releasing hot air from the top of the balloon. Along the way, you're watching for landmarks and checking your map. Of course, the best pilots make it all look easy.
So the next time you're watching a balloon championship in the skies over Battle Creek, remember, there's a lot of hard work being done way up there.
Judges may assign several different tasks for a race, so markers will have different colored tails for each task.
If you see one of these markers in a field or alongside the road, don't pick them up. The judges and ground crews need to know exactly where a bag lands in order to complete their measuring and assign points.
But you know, Bob, people aren't the only ones who disturb these markers.
About 2 or 3 years ago, we were out on a hunt like this, and when he dropped the baggie landed in the yard, and a dog came along and grabbed a hold of it by the heavy end and took off across the field. It took us 2 hours to get the baggie back.
Chasing dogs is not the typical task of an observer. In fact, they're responsible for making sure that the pilot and crews follow the rules.
And for accurately finding the location of the markers so the judges can assign points for each task.
You could call them the unsung heroes of the World Balloon Invitational.
This is the map we use for the World Balloon Invitational at Battle Creek. Here's the airport where we'll be taking off tonight. We'll be flying a little southeast. The map is gridded in metric.
Here's someone you want with you the next time you're lost. Kathy Ayer's ability to read a map is one of the many talents shared by the observers. These men and women travel with the pilots, acting as impartial witnesses during a race.
The observers are like the eyes and the ears of the scoring officials. They go out with the pilots and they record all the information pertinent to the flight, the launch sites, the landing sites where the markers were dropped, any violations.
Different observers are assigned to different pilots during each race. They must ride with the chase crew, watching their maps and the balloons overhead. Ann Ward's been an observer for 8 years.
Probably one of the best jobs in ballooning as far as doing that, because you do meet so many different people each morning and evening, and every time you have a flight, usually there's somebody new.
When markers are dropped, observers need to find the location on their map, even if the location is on top of someone's home, because closest to the X, wherever that X is, gets the most points. So accuracy is crucial. After the measuring is over, the balloons put away, and the crowds go home, the observer's job isn't quite over.
And then we actually go back to the hotel for a debriefing, where we just essentially just go over our task sheet to make sure all the measurements are correct and make sure there are no problems so that they can score.
Because in competitive ballooning, those who score the most points win.
The air show is always a big part of any balloon championship in Battle Creek, and this year was no exception. One of the premier acts was 4 Canadian pilots. Let's go flying now with the Northern Lights.